I can't find the shoot button or the turbo button.
What do you think?
I'm loving it.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's the most amazing thing ever. The music, atmosphere is just mind-blowing.
It's really moody and ethereal.
Yeah.
Mysterious. Yeah, that's about as far as I've gotten.
I don't know what's going on, but I'm very interested to find out.
Do you have any idea yet what's going on in the game?
None.
I know.
None at all. Yeah, I feel like I'm sort of in the park, in the iPhone.
This game is, the way I was describing it, is like a game for people who enjoy long walks. Yeah. Or, you know, I think one of the things I wrote down was like the hippest fantasy children's book ever. Yeah. Like, it's not that there's no combat, that's there, right? But sometimes those combat scenarios are few and far between, and you end up, you know, wandering the forest for a very long time. And
well, part of that is intentional. We did want to have something that was not super sparse, but something that had some space to it. You know, I remember, you know, when I got my iPod Touch a few years ago, listening to music and just thinking, like, this is such a great device. I wish while I'm listening to this music, I could just be doing something kind of not too involved, but just, you know, something to kind of complement what I'm listening to. But games on the device are often going for the sort of fun and the exciting and the rapid fire, something amazing like Steph Thierion's Ellis. It's a beautiful audiovisual package. But what it's asking of you is to get really, really, really involved.
Yeah, it's incredibly difficult.
And actually, you know,
super difficult.
When we were making our first build, one of the ideas I really wanted to go for was something that would be laid back, but still interesting, and sort of an enjoyable space to hang out in. And I think that's survived into the final build of the game, actually.
And then on the flip side, I think a lot of people, when they think about the game or when they have read about the game over the past year, I think a lot of people kind of wonder what the game is.
Yeah.
You know, they wonder what the mechanics are. And one of the things that I'm the most proud of, especially for Craig and Chris, was that, like, they started with this kind of like high-level idea and were able to filter it down into actual gameplay. It is this kind of wonderfully slow and paced and meandering, you know, kind of piece. But then there are puzzles to solve and there are battles to fight, and all of those pieces are kind of built from the ground up to kind of be, you know, showpieces for the music and to create moods as well. So it's like this weird kind of cycle of making music and making the art and building the gameplay, and it's all just kind of feeding into each other.
In a way, it's kind of a backwards way to do things. I think usually you start out with the mechanic and you're like, okay, what's the aesthetic that's going to fit with this mechanic, and then you build the game around that. And we did have like an idea that it was going to be, you know, adventure, sort of point and clicky, but adapted for the device. And that you would get in a fight, twist her over, and then get into some kind of Mike Tyson type stuff. So that's like the high level idea. And then beyond that, it was really just the aesthetic we wanted to deliver on the style and the sound. But then within that, I mean, that's the kind of container for the project. That's what we started with. But then there was a lot of questions about, like, well, what do you actually do? What are the verbs that are available to you? And so that was a lot of crazy ideas that we kind of came up with. I mean, I'm actually really proud that we were able to stitch them together and deliver on ideas as kind of out there as that.